Hello and welcome to another episode of the Portrait Profit Show. My name is Jim Landers, and I am so glad that you're here with me today. I am here to bring you the Portrait Profit Show, but I help photographers just like you make a great income doing what they love. Each week on the Portrait Profit Show, you get tips and systems on the business side of photography designed to help you gain a mastery over marketing and sales, reducing the struggles that most photographers face so you can finally get what you deserve. You're in the right place. Welcome to the Portrait Profit Show. The Portrait Profit Show is brought to you by Digital Pro Lab and Landers Photography School. To get more information on Digital Pro Lab, a lab that is fantastic, who has career people working there who love what they do, a fantastic team that Amanda and Ray have put together, go to digitalprolab.com to get more information on them. That's digitalprolab.com. And to get more information on Landers Photography School, landersphotoschool.com, landersphotoschool.com, or just reach out to me, Jim at landersphotoschool.com. Jim at landersphotoschool.com. Man, I'm so glad you're here with me today. Now, I've got a little bit of housekeeping to take care of. So you'll see going across the screen here in just a moment. You'll see it coming across right across the screen here. We use a platform called StreamYard, and that causes us to be able to simulcast this show to several different groups at the same time. And so the one thing that it causes us not to be able to do if we were just going to one is see who is there. So there's just one step that you have to take in order to make that happen. And that's click that link that you're seeing going across right now, streamyard.com/Facebook. You may have to enter it in. It may be in the original post. That's where most people get it from. It's the original post. Down at the bottom, you may have to click more to see it because it is the last thing in the post. But click on that, and that causes me to be able to see you. Otherwise, it says Facebook user or YouTube user. So do that for me real quick so I know that you're here. And in the comments section, if you haven't done so already, enter in hashtag live so that I know that you're watching right now. And if you're watching this as the replay, then please enter in hashtag replay. But for those of you watching right now, enter in hashtag live in the comments section. That way I know that you're here and that you're watching. And maybe I'll do a shout out here and there every once in a while just to say hi to you. So I can see that there we are on 8 different places at the same time, and it shows me those who have registered per place, but it only shows me the most. And so the one that has the most is only at 7. And so I'm looking to see a few more than that. Come on, keep them coming. But let me know that you're here right now while I hit hashtag live. I can see a lot of Facebook users, meaning that you're watching anonymously. That's fantastic. I see Carl on here. Hey, Pez. I haven't seen you in a while. I'm glad you're here. Let's see who else is here. Well, several more of you. I'm glad that you're here. Well, I want to get into this because it's long and I want to make sure that you've got your pen and paper ready to go, unless you're just listening while you're driving, and then you can revisit this later. But you are, I'm looking forward to sharing this with you because there's some things in it that you might not have considered or may not have considered them in the way that I'm going to be sharing them. But before I do that, I want you to do one last thing before I start sharing information, and that's I want you to share and help us get more people watching the Portrait Profit Show. When you share, other people are going to be joining. So do us that favor of clicking that share button and let other people know about this. And if you know there of some people who could benefit from the business side of photography, well, then hit that on the comments, hit the @ symbol and then their name so that they can get a direct message letting them know that, hey, there's something good to watch right now. All right. So enter in the hashtag live and also enter in the click that share button. All right. Enough stuff like that. let's move into what we're here today for, and that's must-have skills for a profitable portrait photographer. So I'm going to take those off before I get started. There we go. All right. So here's something that you know. Photography is an art and a science. But for us pros, it's also a business. While you started your photography career because of your passion, making it a sustainable and profitable requires mastering some key business skills that have nothing to do with the skills that you've grown to love and learn in photography. Today, we'll be exploring some must-have skills, the ability for turning your creativity into a thriving, exciting business that you'll never grow weary of. And it doesn't matter whether you're starting out today or that you're already established. This information will equip you with the actionable tips to consistently earn profits that you feel confident about and create stability in your business and in your life. Now, if that sounds interesting, if you like the sound of that so far, then do me a favor and hit that like button. Just hit that like. I want to see some likes. I want to earn some loves though, but if you like the sound of that so far, then I want you to click like. And as we go through the show today, as you're feeling energized and empowered, I'd love to see you express your gratitude and excitement through comments, likes, loves. Let it out. I want to see those comments. I want to see those loves. I want to see those likes. I'll share advice on improving processes, attracting ideal clients, wowing them with your professionalism. And by the end of this presentation, you'll take away a clarity of the must have skills photography entrepreneurs need in today's market and allow photographers to excel on the business side and turn their passion into a fantastic career. I have 8 skills that I'm going to cover today. There are a lot more, but this show is just an hour. So if you have ideas on additional skills that photographers should have on the business side, because this is the Portrait Profit Show after all, then put those ideas in the comments. By the way, one of the biggest skills is communication skills, but that one deserves really a show all of its own. And we have done a show on that before. So I won't be covering that today, but through many of the things, though many of the things uh, uh, that I'm going to be going over have an element of communication. So you'll see that as we go through today. So here are 8 must have skills. The first, put that up on the screen. The first is consultation skills. And I'm going to go over each one of these real quickly, but then go into each of them one at a time, because each one of them has several things that I want to go over and comment on. Besides, you want to get a workout for your hand and your wrist as you're taking all the notes that I have for you today. So the first is the consultation skills. This is your ability to consult with clients, understand their needs, advise solutions, and close the sale. This includes preparation, communication, presenting your packages, your pricing, overcoming objections, and of course, booking your clients. The next is your marketing skills, and I'm going to come back to that here in a second. There we go. Marketing skills. This is knowledge of branding, social media, SEO, blogging, advertising, the ability to promote your photography business and consistently attract ideal clients. The third of 8 is client management, providing an amazing client experience through communication, expectation setting, and anticipating needs follow-up, and building loyalty. The fourth is the legal side, so insurance, contracts, licensing, handling legal needs like permits and business registration, taxes, insurance for gear and liability, understanding model releases, usage rights, licensing terminology, negotiating fair contracts, and fees for different usage cases. Number five is financial management, and that's budgeting, tracking expenses, separating business from personal finances, invoicing, managing cash flow, planning for taxes, pricing competitively, etc. The next is number six, systems and workflow, creating efficient systems and workflows for client communication, scheduling, image culling, editing, production creation and delivery, payments, payment arrangements, etc. The seventh, and again, I'm going through these quickly because I'm going to go through each one of them with detail here in just a moment. So I'm just telling you what the list is going to be. The next is the product and service expansion, the ability to expand your offerings over time, like adding photo products, album designs, additional session types, or personal projects. And number eight of eight is supporting the community. So this could be supporting the local community. This could also be including local photography groups. So we'll talk about that here in just a moment in more detail. So if what we're about to talk about, these eight things, these eight skills, is getting your mind going, do me a favor, real quick. Just comment yes. Go over to the comments right now and type the word yes. If you think that this sounds interesting, if this is getting your mind going already, I know I went through that part fast. I'm going to go through the rest of it pretty fast too, but not quite as fast because I'm going to give you a lot more detail on each one of those. So real quick, that list again: consultation skills, marketing skills, client management, legal, financial management, systems and workflow, product and service, and supporting the community. Those are the eight we're going to be going over today. So the first is consultation skills. Now, not every single business model does consultations, but in some way you are visiting with the client ahead of time. In some way, it could be just through text where you have a website and people just book online, but in some way there is some kind of interaction that causes them to be able to start working with you. I'm going to go into the more detailed one where you're actually talking to them face to face in this example, and if you just do something less than that, well, then you take away the things that you need from this bigger view. So depending on your ideal business model, a client consultation is or could be one of the most critical moments for your photography business. Some people call it a sales pitch. I prefer to call them a consultation or a design consultation because I not only do I try to book a session, but I also plan the session with them during this. Consultations are done over the phone, they're done via web conferencing, or they're done in person for the purpose of at least to wow your potential clients, demonstrate your value, showcase your skills, build trust, understand their vision, craft solutions, and of course, book them for a session. But one of the key purposes of the consultation is to find out if they're the right client for you. You are a tool to help them get what they want. They are also a tool to help you get what you want. So therefore, make sure they're the right tool for the job before you move forward. We don't want to work with people who are going to drain our creative energy or take us in a direction that we don't need to go. To be prepared for the meeting, there are several things that you may need, such as pricing, sample images, branding materials, a contract, and a lot more. We'll talk about several of them here in just a moment. When you're professional and organized, you give prospects a reason to be confident in your abilities, and that increases your confidence. Depending on the type of photography that you do, during the consultation, your goal is to get to know the client personally. You do this by asking thoughtful questions, listening closely to their vision, anticipating concerns, overcoming any objections and stalls that they may have, and tailoring your message accordingly. Perhaps they're looking for classic posed family portraits or a lifestyle session at a favorite location. Understanding their thoughts and expectations will allow you to provide a great experience for them. It's also important to proactively address any variables such as turnaround time, what's included, what's not included. Think of things like the number of edited images delivered, the copyright usage rights, and more, or that prints and frames are sold separately at the print or the portrait selection consultation. I've got multiple consultations, but there's two main ones: the design consultation and the portrait selection consultation. You give it your own name. So those are my fancy names for it. You can call it whatever you want. Uh, Transparency builds trust. You know this. Besides, we don't want any misunderstandings. And it is so easy for that to happen. Share examples of your work that are especially relevant to them so that they can envision the final product for them. Here are some tips for effective client consultations. Prepare a professional consultation kit. I'm going to talk about that here in just a little bit. I'm going to go through this list and I'll come back to that one. But the goal of that is to demonstrate your professionalism and your experience. For in-person consultations, host them in a professional space. Now, this could be your office, this could be their place, or it could be a location that is quiet and clean. Next one is have your branding visible all times through logos, signage, watermarks. The next is start with just small talk and find common ground because your goal is to build rapport. You want to get to know them. You want to feel comfortable with them so that they feel comfortable with you. You want to ask thoughtful questions that understand the client's needs, concerns, and vision. You want to explain your creative process from the beginning to completed so that you can set clear expectations. You want to proactively address any of their concerns, any of their questions. Use samples and testimonials to showcase your work. You want to present pricing options clearly and effectively communicate their value. You want to offer special perks and bonuses for your higher tier options, like maybe extra prints or digital usage rights, photo gifts, and even better, partner with other businesses who target your same market and create something irresistible. But that's just my opinion. Now, two more. Make booking frictionless by having your contracts there and ready to go. That recommended is to do it digitally, but if they're paper, have them ready. And the ability to receive their payment right then and there, not to send them an invoice later, but to take their payment right then and there. You've heard the cliche, strike while the iron's hot. If you haven't experienced this already, there are some clients who are really ready to go right now. And by the time you send them an invoice, which may be just a few hours later, they've already gotten cold and they stop responding to you. Don't let that happen. Make sure they can accept a payment right then and there. And then follow up quickly. Once you've left, follow up quickly with a thank you, a recap of what you talked about, and an open invitation to ask you any questions. Now, perfecting your ability to consult with clients is crucial for conveying your expertise, reassuring clients, and booking the session. Dedicate time to crafting and practicing your consultation approach. Now, I mentioned the consultation kit. So I want to go over that, tell you a little bit more about what that is, just in case you don't know. And I don't expect most of you to know. A consultation kit starts off with you brainstorming every variable you can think of that could happen at a consultation. Then create procedures around that. What you're going to do from start to finish, what you're going to do when things go off track. You're going to make a list of different things that could come up. I'll talk about that here in just a second. I recommend creating a binder to organize all of your thoughts and ideas. I further recommend that you create a file structure in your computer for things like this too, the things that you create. The consultation kit is a curated set of materials that you bring to client meetings to showcase your business and showcase it in a professional way so that you are closing more sales. One photographer I know calls it his mega booking packet. Someone I like and respect and have known indirectly for years. So your consultation kit includes things like contract templates and intake forms to book clients on the spot, physical or digital. Digital is recommended. I want it to have polished menus detailing pricing packages, products, services. You may choose just to show this, or you may choose to make it something that they can take with them. I choose not to give my price list to my clients because they're just going to take it, lose it, put it somewhere, ask for another. It's just a crutch. I want them to go over it with me. It's more like, I think it's more like a fine dining restaurant. Do they give you the menu to take with you? No, they don't even do that in at Chili's level restaurants. So it's up to you. Photographers are not that much different than restaurants. We come in different tiers. Also, there's the fast food restaurant, the high volume photographer. Then there's that middle range, the casual dining, and then the high end. So you've got all those, and you get to decide which one is the right one for you. There isn't a right answer. There's just the one that's the right one for you. They're all good business models. But if you're going to be fast food, that means you're going to have to do a lot in order to make the profit that you need, because fast food is going to be a lower price. Then you've got that medium range that you will have to do a lot, but nowhere near as many as the fast food level. And then the higher end can charge a pretty low amount and not have to do a whole lot, maybe one a month or one a week. So just not a lot based on the pricing, but that's for another time, not for today. The consultation kit also needs to have sample images. Maybe you need to have an album with you, maybe a video to showcase your work and your style. You need to have info sheets covering common frequently asked questions like pricing, process, image rights, that kind of thing. You want to have past client testimonials in there as well. So and reviews, maybe, just anything that helps the client know that other people have worked with you before and they're thrilled with having done so. You want to have business cards, brochures, info card, or flyers, maybe. You want to have a portfolio. Maybe it's on your website. Maybe you want to have social media information. Now, when I give you these things, some of these things you're going to have just in your personal version of it. The bigger version that you're going to pull from to create the professional one you're going to take in with you, they are two separate things. One's really part of the planning process, but it stays with you because it is just your base. It's your foundation, but you're taking the pretty part. They're seeing the pretty part. The consultation kit includes both things. So a sheet to collect your client information and take notes for easier follow-up, a tabletop or laptop for showing your materials digitally if needed, payment plans. You're going to want to have those pre-designed for them, not come up with them at the spur of the moment. And then anything more that you would need depending on your specific needs, your way of doing business. So here's an action step. Prepare a professional looking consultation kit that you can bring to meetings. Guess what? I don't expect you, even after all that, to know all the details about what a consultation kit is or how to create one. You're in luck. Creating a consultation kit is the subject of next week's Portrait Profits show. So make plans to be available at noon next Monday. Put it on your calendar right now so that you will be here while I go over how to create a consultation kit. What are all the variables? What are all the considerations so that this is an effective tool to help you clarify what you're doing and to be able to more easily clarify and show professionalism to your client. Wrap up the consult by recapping their vision and your photographic solution. Confirm all the logistical details and what the next steps are supposed to be. Then follow up promptly with a thank you, a recap email, and invite them to reach out to you with any other questions. With preparation and practice, you can master the art of the consultation. An effective message shows the value you provide and gets clients excited to book with you. If you can see the value of what I just shared and the consultation skills, will you do me a favor and write yes in the comments, just the word yes, just to let me know that you think there's some value there. There's something interesting there that I could use. All right. The next of the 8 is marketing skills. By the way, I'm going to look at the comments real quick. If you're joining us and haven't done so already, would you do me a favor and enter in hashtag live in the comments? Hashtag live. Let me know. Yeah. Rick says that he's, earlier I said give it your own name. Rick is saying here that he attended a workshop where it had the name Introduction Magazine. Yeah, so it's got all different names that includes which includes prices, something that makes them like your brand. Yeah. So thank you for sharing that, Rick, because that's a perfect example of what it is that I'm talking about. Yeah, perfect. Thank you. Good. I'm glad you're here, Jade. And Wesley, I'm glad you're here. Carl, Pez, Dave, man, a bunch of you good guys are here. All my favorites. All right, so we're talking about marketing skills now. By the way, the rest of these sections aren't as long. I spent more time with that one because I wanted to prep you for what we're going to be doing next week. So number 2, marketing skills. Now that you know how to book clients through masterful consultations, let's discuss how to consistently attract your ideal client in the first place. Purposeful marketing is what gets potential clients in the door so that your consultation can seal the deal. Successful photographers use a mix of branding, advertising, and engagement strategies. Some key marketing skills include creating a consistent brand identity and style that resonates with your target market, and of course with you. Optimizing your website, enhancing SEO to drive traffic, engaging on social media and networking with your industry. And just a reminder, these are things that it could include. Your business model may be different. There may be things that I'm saying that you use and things that you don't. You may use several more things that I'm listing. I'm just listing a few. Producing valuable content like a regular newsletter, social media posts, videos. Running targeted ad campaigns on relevant platforms. Building and nurturing relationships with alliance partners and past clients. It's not just about getting new clients. It's about nurturing the ones you've had so that you can keep for years. Tracking analytics to identify successes and new opportunities. So there's some. What's your top takeaway so far? I mean, we've got a lot more to go, but what's your top takeaway so far? Let me know in the comments. Just go over there right now. Enter in your top takeaway so far, what I've shared with you today. Have I given you enough time to do it? Cool. All right. Client management tools. You've booked clients now through marketing and consultations who are excited to work with you. Now it's time to deliver an incredible experience that keeps them coming back and sharing with their friends and family. Client management is crucial. So are a lot of other things. So maybe that word's overused, but it's incredibly important, just like a lot of other things, for setting expectations, anticipating needs, communicating properly, resolving issues, and nurturing long term relationships. Here are some key skills for managing clients seamlessly. Setting clear expectations up front around your creative process, your timeline, the client's responsibilities, etc. Client's responsibilities. Yeah. There are some things that a client has to do, and you know what they are if you think about it. Maintaining constant communication through preferred channels like email, text, phone calls. Checking in proactively prior to the session, during the post-production process, and after the job is done. Delivering on time as promised. Obtaining testimonials and reviews from every client. Following up after every delivery to answer questions and encourage referrals. Using CRM or SMS, that's client relationship management tools, or studio management software. They're the same thing, but studio management software is made for photographers. So that's the one I recommend. Besides, it's often less expensive. And these are used to track conversations and milestones for each client in addition to your database. And then cultivating genuine, lasting relationships. With polished client management skills, you can provide 5-star service that keeps your calendar and your bank account full. Let's explore some tips for mastering the client experience with this action step. I want you to create a client onboarding checklist that's used to set clear expectations. Consider things like the project scope, the session locations, the date, the time, your creative process and the timeline for that process, your client's responsibilities, if they are responsible for choosing the outfits. In some business models, the photographer does that, or they have a client closet. But others, in fact, most, they don't have any part in that at all. So that is a responsibility, if it's a family portrait, for mom, probably for the whole family to take care of. In addition to getting herself ready, she's got a lot to do that morning. Sometimes you ask your clients to bring props. For high school seniors, that's especially. And sometimes you ask your clients to get any necessary permits that could be necessary to get, depending on where it is you're going to go. So this is all part of the plan. We need to be able to communicate that to our clients when necessary, when that comes up. A payment schedule and total costs. The communication preferences and availability. Again, we're creating a client onboarding checklist right now. Copyright usage rights. Schedule for delivery and installation if you are a full service photographer. By the way, full service photographers just means they take it to the end where they give their client no work whatsoever. So if you're giving digital files and it's a headshot, you may have taken that to the end of what is going to happen with that image. All they're doing is uploading it to their LinkedIn profile and they're done. Maybe you're optimizing it for that purpose so that they have really nothing to do. But if it's a family portrait, giving digital files is not full service, because there's printing, there's framing sometimes, and installation. If you're giving your client any work to do whatsoever, you don't qualify as full service. Full service means no work for the client, with the exception of the things that they have to do, like choosing clothes and getting to the location. So there's some things that they have to do, but they would have to do that no matter what. And the final one, recommendations for hair, makeup, location ideas, poses. So Do you see how this could be helpful? If you can see how this will be helpful, do me a favor. Write yes in the comments right now. Just the word yes. If you can see how this could be helpful for you and your clients, put yes in the comments right now. Number 4 is the legal side. Right? Legal side. All right, but it's necessary. We have to do it. And so there's other parts of the photography business we don't like either, like the financial side. We're going to be dealing with that here in just a second. That's the next one. But number 4 is legal. So that's insurance, that's contracts, that's licensing skills. At this point, you're attracting and working with a growing clientele. So it makes sense that you will want to protect your business legally with clear photographer contracts and licensing agreements. Here are some things to at least consider: business registration, permits, taxes, properly structuring and registering your business entity. How about insurance? Obtaining liability insurance and coverage for your gear. Privacy laws. Following regulations around client data retention. Understanding the details. Copyright. Exclusivity, usage, model releases, property releases. How about defining what copyright usage is for you in particular, for what you're trying to do, what you believe your clients should use it for? It's up to you. It's your game, your rules. So you're defining this. So you may want to confine how they are using the images. Maybe you don't want them to print them, or maybe print up to a certain size. Maybe you are allowing them to use it for web on the web, so maybe emails or social media posts. And maybe you do some commercial work, so therefore it's going to change based on what it is that you do. Next one is establishing scope, the purpose, the locations, the period of time. Next is defining or negotiating fair compensation for your different usage. How about outlining payment terms, deposit schedules, late fees? Late fees. Specifying creative control, attribution. If they're going to use their image, an image of yours or images, how do you want them to attribute your name to it? How do you want them to connect your name to it? You need to lay this all out ahead of time. I mean, this is something that's going to happen. So why would you wait until it does? Just do it. Be ready. Be professional. And some photographers allow modifications of their images, but this is something you get to decide for yourself. I don't want people manipulating my images. I put them in a state that is done based on this artist's point of view. So therefore, I don't want anyone messing with the photographs that I create. But that's up to you. And then protecting yourself, like cancellations, indemnity, liability, confidentiality. So a lot of things to think about on that business side. And that's why a lot of photographers are going to hire someone in the legal field to help them with this. It's a good idea to do so. It's not most photographers' area of expertise, although there are a handful of photographers who are also lawyers. All right. By educating yourself and working with professionals, which I recommend, you can ensure full compliance, protection, and the ability to legally defend your work. With well thought out legal considerations, you wind up with robust contracts and licensing structures, knowing you and your clients both are protected. Tell me in the comments what potential concerns come to mind for you on this one, because that legal side usually brings up in us some concerns, some I'm not sure's, and other things that make you uneasy. So what potential concerns come to mind for you on this one? Put that in the comments for me. Number 5, financial management skills. Everyone knows that handling the financial and accounting aspects of a business is essential to maintain and remain profitable, maintain a profitable business. But few photographers do this part very well. And it's because it's not what we started the business for. We like the photography side. So, here are some key financial skills: pricing and merchandising, creating projections and setting revenue goals, separating personal and business finances, tracking business expenses, managing expenses, paying vendors and 1099 contractors, outsourcing to scale efficiency. By the way, if you're not outsourcing something, you have improvements to make in the efficiency of your business. It's not something that you should do 100% yourself. How about payment processing, issuing client invoices and managing accounts receivable and following up, establishing and enforcing payment policies, budgeting for taxes, gear investments, marketing, and other things like that, analyzing financial reports to optimize pricing and cash flow, using accounting software, record keeping, and working with your accountant, building and maintaining an emergency savings fund. There's going to be times when you need it. Creating solid financial processes allows you to understand your numbers, build strategies, and notice opportunities for efficiency and growth. Am I right? If I'm right, or you can see what I'm talking about, write yes in the comments. I want to know that you're watching, that you're enjoying this, that you're hearing this, if this is making some sense. I just want to see the word yes from you in the comments. Number 6 of 8, systems and workflow skills. Planning systems for every aspect of your business produces consistency and a better way to see areas for improvement. Building a streamlined photography business requires strong systems and efficient workflows. So here are some key skills in this area. Client management systems. Now, this is a CRM or an SMS. I mentioned this before. CRM is client relationship management. It's actually called customer, but I use the word client, or studio management software. And because we're photographers, SMS is what I recommend. They're basically the same thing, but SMS is definitely geared for you as a professional photographer. Email marketing, contract and payment tracking. How about scheduling and calendars to organize appointments and tasks? Streamline production systems, including downloading, organizing, culling, editing, and delivery. How about automating administrative tasks wherever possible? So invoices, follow-ups, appointments, appointment setting. Using project management tools to map out more involved sessions or projects that you're working on. Workflows for social media, website updates, newsletters, and other marketing. Organizing equipment prep, cleaning, maintenance, inventory. Have you ever lost a piece of equipment? Multiple times. Creating checklists, guides, templates, and standard operating procedures. You may just see that as SOPs, standard operating procedures, to improve consistency. And so our creative, wandering minds can remain focused, at least from the client's point of view. While with clear systems and procedures, everything is improved tremendously. You'll complete more projects and you'll do it in a shorter period of time. And you'll spend less time feeling lost and wondering what to do. So got an action step. Create a step-by-step post-session workflow process. I'm going to give you a quick example. So here's one if you're doing digital delivery. So let's say it's for a headshot. Import images into Lightroom and organize them into folders by client type. Number one. Number two, cull the images using an AI program like FilterPixel so it doesn't take so darn long. FilterPixel.com. Use an AI program for editing and adjusting things such as white balance, exposure, color correction. Again, FilterPixel is the one I recommend for that. FilterPixel.com. Number four, manually fine-tune individual images. So that's blemish removal, cropping, creative edits. Number five, export final image selection as high-res JPEGs. Now, again, this is just an example of what one process could be in the post-production process. Yours may be totally different than this. Yours may be completely the same as this. This isn't what I don't normally do digital files. I normally do print. So this isn't mine, but I chose to do this because it has fewer steps. And, I have to pay attention to the time. So number 6, upload to an online gallery or delivery system such as Dropbox or WeTransfer so clients get their images. Number 7, notify client that the images are ready for review and download. And number 8 of these steps for a digital delivery, offer easy order forms for purchasing prints or albums if that's appropriate for that particular session, and follow up promptly. So that could be one example for a step-by-step post-production workflow process. You're going to want to go into more detail on that. I did do that quickly because of time. All right. So after hearing that, could you give me one word in the comments? Comment one word that describes how you feel right now. Is it happy, excited, or is it overwhelmed or clueless? Hopeful? Hopefully it's hopeful. Hopeful. Excuse me. Number 7 of 8. Product and service expansion skills. So as you grow, you build an established business. It may be a good idea to expand your product offering over time. It might be. It may not be also. You need to know that though. But if it is, here are some key skills to consider. So you may add personal, partner, or community projects. Adding new services like video or drone work. Offering additional physical photo products, mugs, and other merch. Providing digital products to those who bought prints years ago. Developing subscription-based options for ongoing client work. Branding for other businesses. Licensing images via stock photo sites, though AI is likely to make that obsolete here pretty soon. Either way, or any way, diversifying income streams and adding specialty services allows you to grow revenue while keeping clients engaged. Now, I don't recommend you doing any of those things in addition to what your main business is in the beginning, because you've got to get your systems down so everything runs so clean and clear that it can be done on autopilot without you there except for the photography. If it's not that way right now, then don't add those other things. Even though you say, well, I need the extra money. Come on. You're spreading yourself too thin. You don't know what you've got well enough to be able to expand. Get good at what you're doing. Then consider the expansion. Number 8. And there are 8. Supporting the community. One of the best investments you can make is to build connections with the local community, and more specifically, also with the local photographer community. Supporting your peers leads to growth. It uplifts every single one of us Too many people are independent. They're not seeking out others. Maybe they have time as their reason, and maybe it's a legitimate one. And there are reasons why people can't get out and visit with other photographers. I get it. However, if you can, you should. Here's ways to engage the community. Donate to silent auctions and fundraising galas. Seek partnerships with community organizations, business to business relationships, cross promotion. Shop local when running your business. If there is someone local who does a fantastic job, then why would you go across the country or across the world to do that thing? That makes no sense. Hire your vendors in the same spirit that your clients chose you. They went local. If there's a good or a fantastic local option, use it. Kind of like Digital Pro Lab for printing. Why would you use someone halfway across the country to do something that is done here, done incredibly well by Digital Pro Lab, a company who supports the local photography community? And you're sending your money who knows where, that not $1 comes back to support this community. Why are you doing such a thing? Think this through. Hire your vendors in the same spirit that your clients hire you. They went local. You go local. If there's a local option. If there's not, I understand, because I do that myself. But if there's a local option, I'm going local, especially when it comes to my lab, and especially when it comes to Digital Pro Lab and Amanda and Ray, because they give so much to the San Antonio photography community. It's the least we can do is give them our business. But that's just one guy's opinion. There's other local labs too, if you want to choose those. But right now, and for years, I've recommended Digital Pro Lab. All right. Enough about my opinion there. Attend and network at local business associations. So that would be like chambers of commerce or leads groups. Now, here's some ways to engage with other photographers. Hopefully you're doing this already. But if you're not, here's some ways. Joining local photography groups. Now, that could be traditional groups that only meet in person. That could be online groups, and some of which never meet in person. I'd say a good, strong mix of both is where you want to be. Joining social media photographer groups. Participate by asking questions and sharing your advice. It's not just, you're not just there to take. By the way, there are a lot of photographers who don't even realize they're doing this. They're on those social media sites and they're only taking. When there's a client who's saying, I need a senior portrait done, they'll enter in their name and their business name and, choose me. But that's the only time you ever see them. That is a person who's just taking, not giving. Now, they probably don't realize that they're doing it. So maybe I'm calling them out right now and they'll realize, oh gosh, I'm a taker. I didn't realize that. I am against people who are only takers, and I need to stop. I need to actually participate. Yeah, you do. Don't just take, also give. Give advice. You've been doing this long enough to be able to share something. There's someone who is newer than you who could benefit from your advice. Give it. How about attending industry conferences and educational events, taking classes, hiring a business coach, following and interacting with other photographers on social media, volunteering for photography events. There's the annual San Antonio Photography Tournament coming up on October 22nd. I'll talk about it here in just a second. Mentoring aspiring new photographers who are starting out. Don't you want to build the next generation of photographers? Help them, give them a helping hand up. Of course you do. Some of you say there was no one there to do that for you. So therefore you're going to help others so that others can't say that. I've been helping photographers since 1997. And it's very rewarding to do so. In fact, when I was in the most active years of my business, I had 3 different programs I had an apprentice program, which was full time. I had an intern program, which is part time. And I had a shadow program, which was just an occasional, maybe even a one time thing. But I had those programs written out so that we had a plan, we had a system. Every single thing you do needs a system. That's what today is about. By giving back and developing relationships, you expand your reach. You learn new skills that you didn't even know you didn't know, especially for those who are self-taught. There's a lot of things that you don't know because it's not possible to know the things you don't know. You gain referrals and you avoid isolation as a solopreneur. So invest in your community. Now, I've got some closing thoughts because we're at the end. I want you to put in the comments one takeaway from today's training. One takeaway. Take a moment to do that for me. I love hearing how this is helping you. It really makes it worthwhile for me. So write a takeaway, but at the very least, maybe just something as simple as thanks, Jim. I appreciate it. This was good. It could be as simple as that. But I am curious about what your takeaways are for today. We covered a lot of business skills photographers could use to create a profitable and sustainable career. I hope you feel empowered to employ some of these skills to take your business to the next level. While your passion for photography drew you in, refining your voice and serving others through mastering the business side is what allows you to thrive. If you can see how these skills help give you clarity, take a second and hit that like button or love button for me. If you can see how these skills may give you clarity and cause you to be better at the business side. Your unique perspective is needed in this world. People who have not become clients are just waiting to hear from you. They just don't know it yet. Leverage these skills so that you can reach your personal goals. Continue growing. Stay curious and always exude the utmost in professionalism, heart, and care in all that you create. I believe in you. Now, those were my closing thoughts about the must-have skills for profitable photographers. Now, I've got an offer for you, and I've given this offer before, but I see so many of you wonderful creatives stuck in an endless cycle of working and not really seeing any success. I want to give you some hands-on help for implementing these strategies we talked about today, or anything that you need on the business side. Yes, I do teach photography, but I'm talking about the business side. As a special offer to my Portrait Profits friends, for just $80, I'm making myself available for a private 45-minute session via Zoom or via phone. I'll have about 15 sessions available. I'll make them available about 15, 20 minutes after the end of this class. So they're not available yet, but they will be available shortly. I'll have about 15 of them available, and once my schedule fills up, that's it. So check my schedule for availability, and I'm going to put that in the comment section, and hopefully that's going to work this time, because I've noticed a handful of times it only posted to some of the places we were simulcasting. What's up with that? But for those of you that see it, it's it should be in the comment section right now, the address, and I'll put it on the oh, that is not it. Oh, I guess I didn't do it, so I'll just make one right now, because that won't take long. So that is the address, and it's long. So maybe do a screenshot and type it in, but it's calendly.com/photo school, and then how to make portrait photography success ASAP. So yeah, it's a little bit long, but it's pretty easy to remember. So let's chat one-on-one and unlock your true potential. I'll help you establish clarity and execute a plan to take your photography business wherever it is that you want to take it. Schedule your personalized 45-minute private session today and discover the path to focusing on what matters most. I encourage you to reserve your spot before it's gone, but just know it won't be available until about 15 minutes or so, maybe 20 minutes after the end of the show. That's when it becomes available. So check my schedule. Use that link that I just gave you. I've got some announcements to make, and then I'm going to be sharing the upcoming shows. So the 11th annual San Antonio Photography Tournament is coming up on October 22nd. And let's see. Oh, I better put that screen on the image. Here it is. And you can see the link there. I'll put it also in the comments section because I don't want you to have to type it out if we can avoid that. So there is the information about the 11th annual San Antonio Photography Tournament. This is a fun tournament. You'll notice in the website address it says photofun.eventbrite.com. That's the location where it's at, and it's just for fun. It's not the goal is not to find out who the best photographer is in San Antonio. The goal is for photographers to get together and have a diversion doing the thing that they love. And that's going to be at Confluence Park on October 22nd, 2023, all morning and a little bit into the afternoon as well. And it's a instant gratification photographers tournament where you show up not knowing what even the categories are going to be. You'll get that list when you arrive. Then we tell you the rules. You go out and you photograph whatever it is that you all the categories that you'd like to participate in. You send them, you submit them. The judges do their thing, and then after lunch we announce the winners. We hand out certificates for the winners, and we've got prizes to hand out to the winners. Yep, it all happens in one event, an instant gratification photographers challenge, and it does not include a popularity contest on Facebook and Instagram to see how many friends you've got. Nope, this is just fun one day. So I encourage you to take advantage of it. And we have usually post-COVID about 60, 70 photographers that participate. But pre-COVID, it was well over 100 that participated. In 2019, there were over 200 people in the room. Not all of them were competing because people do sometimes bring guests, bring friends, bring family members. But it was a fun event. And I expect this one is going to be another big one. It'll come back. We'll see. To be determined. Huh. Yep. All right. So that's one thing. And if you'd like to be a volunteer on the planning committee, will you do me a favor and reach out to me at jim@landersphotoSchool.com? I'll put that in the comments too. So hopefully you get that. But jim@landersphotoSchool.com. If you'd like more information about being a volunteer, we could use a handful more volunteers. It takes 35 volunteers to do this. And I think we've got about 28. So we're close, but we could use a few more. And then as a final announcement before I tell you what the upcoming sessions are, the upcoming shows are for the Portrait Profit Show, coming up, and let me put the right, there we go. There's a photographer meetup coming up. It's on the second Thursday of every single month. It's where Photo SA and the San Antonio Photography Facebook group get together. And it's the second Thursday every single month at 6:30 in the evening. It's at a different location each time. And that information will be where you see this link. And so I'm going to put that also in the comments so that you can go see the details there. Comments. There we go. So that should be showing up in your comments section right now. If not, then it's at an address that is made up by the computer, so it's got some weird numbers in it. So it's not one that I could just tell you, but it will be. It's already on the Meetup page, which is meetup.com/photo SA. Meetup.com/photo SA. It's already there in the events section, and it will be soon on the San Antonio Photography Facebook page here pretty soon. All right, let's move on to the upcoming. Let me take that down. There we go. Oh, by the way, the topic for the next one, it's by Jonathan Garino. The topic is automobile photography, motorsports. So photographing cars, photographing race cars, photographing anything that has motor in it, really. That's the topic for the next one. So I know a lot of you like that particular topic. So I encourage you to come on Thursday, September 14th at 6:30 in the evening. All right. So as you know, we do the Portrait Profits show on every single Monday. We never miss a Monday, even if it falls on a holiday, and we have it every single time. You can count on this show being there. After 132 shows, I think I've been pretty darn consistent with it, and so I'm counting on you to be as consistent as me. Just show up, though. You don't have to do all the pre-work or the post-work. You just have to show up and watch every Monday at noon, with the exception of the second Monday of each month where we move it to 6:30. But the next one is the September 4th, and it's called Create Your Consultation Kit. I already mentioned it to you. You heard me say it already, but a consultation kit is a curated set of materials you bring to client meetings to showcase your business professionally, increasing your confidence and closing more sales. So that's what's coming up. And I'll put that also here. So September 4th at noon, create your consultation kit. All right. The next one is the second Monday of September. And so that is how I communicate with clients. We'll have 3 panelists on. So join us for the captivating live panel discussion where our 3 panelists will share their wisdom and convey their stories. Discover insights that took them time and effort to acquire. Don't miss this opportunity to gain their knowledge. And then on September 18th, and that's where I'm going to stop as far as upcoming, but I want you to put these on your schedule so you know. The one on the 18th, this one's kind of fun. It's one of the philosophies that I learned back in the 90s. But to be interesting, be interested. Curiosity shared is the most interesting trait you can cultivate. Communication comes in many different forms. In this episode of the Portrait Profit Show, we'll captivate and motivate your clients to move forward now, and in several different ways. So that's September 18th. To be interesting, be interested. So that'll be fun. All right. We've come to the end of another episode of the Portrait Profit Show. For Landers Photography School and Digital Pro Lab, this is Jim Landers bringing you the weekly Portrait Profit Show, helping you excel in your portrait photography business through valuable tips and insights, helping you stay on track towards the success that you deserve. Join us every Monday for evolving content as we unravel the mysteries of the business side of photography. Thank you for tuning in today, and I hope you can implement some of these strategies that I've shared with you.